So, what happens when a country with, over 240 million people decides to go all in on the future of money? I mean, this is a massive, high-stakes bet we're talking about. A plan so ambitious, it could either completely transform their economy or just crash and burn against a wall of international pressure. And that really brings us to the big question, right? Could a struggling economy actually become the world's next crypto superpower, especially with the help of a pretty controversial billionaire? Is this a stroke of genius or just a really desperate gamble? We break down these huge stories that are shaping finance right here. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into the superpower plan itself. You have to understand Pakistan was facing some serious economic headwinds. They were looking for a way to kind of jump ahead, to leapfrog the usual slow grind of development. So in 2025, they didn't just dip a toe in the crypto water. No, they did a full-on cannonball. We're talking a radical strategy to completely rewire their entire economy for the digital age. And look, this wasn't just talk. This wasn't some stuffy white paper or a vague promise for the future. The government went on a high-speed mission, launching one decisive action after another, all designed to build a regulated, crypto-friendly economy from the ground up, and they wanted to do it at lightning speed. So, okay, how do you even begin to build a crypto nation from scratch? Well, let's take a look at the actual blueprint they put together. What's just wild about this timeline is the speed. I mean, look at this. March 2025, boom, the Pakistan Crypto Council is formed. Just a month later, they bring in a big name advisor. By June, they've got a whole committee drafting the national framework. And before the year is even out, a massive virtual asset ordinance is introduced. This wasn't just a government in a hurry, they were sprinting. And this plan? It was really thought out. The new law wasn't just about, hey, let's let people trade crypto. No, the goals were way bigger. They wanted to pull in global investment, promote real financial inclusion for millions of their citizens who are unbanked, and build this whole thing on a foundation of strong data protection and cybersecurity. It was the whole shebang. Okay, but to pull off something this big, you can't just go it alone. You need a guide, right? Someone who's a legend in the crypto world. And boy, the person they picked, well, let's just say that made headlines everywhere. Yep, we're talking about Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the co-founder of Binance, the biggest crypto exchange on the planet. I mean, bringing in one of the most famous and, sometimes controversial figures in the entire industry to be a strategic advisor, that was a huge statement. It was their way of telling the world, hey, we are dead serious about this. And this wasn't some quiet backroom appointment either. You had the federal finance minister, Mohammed Aurangzeb, coming out and saying it loud and clear. He basically said, this is the beginning of a new digital chapter for our economy. He was tying CZ's involvement directly to their highest level national vision for a future-ready financial ecosystem. But as you can probably guess, trying to build a crypto empire from scratch is, well, it's not exactly a walk in the park. And Pakistan's massive ambition pretty much immediately slammed into some very harsh realities. And this next part really gets to the heart of the conflict. So Pakistan had this really smart idea, right? They had all this surplus electricity. We're talking 2,000 megawatts, and they wanted to use it to power Bitcoin mining and AI data centers, turn an unused asset into a digital one. Brilliant. The problem, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, was not having it. They raised a huge red flag, worried about subsidized power and the massive strain it would put on an already shaky national grid. And here's the thing. The pushback wasn't just coming from big international players like the IMF. Inside Pakistan, there was a whole chorus of concerns. You had critics saying the government was moving way too fast without clear laws. People were questioning if the energy plan was even possible. And of course, the big one. The Senate's Finance Committee was seriously worried about the potential for money laundering and other financial crimes. So, okay, you've got all these roadblocks both at home and abroad. It makes you wonder, why even take such a huge risk? What's the prize that makes this whole gamble worth it? Well, the answer is about way more than just tech or money. See, this was never just about crypto for crypto's sake. Think about it. This is a country with a huge young population and a ton of people who are completely outside the traditional banking system. For them, this was about empowerment. The real promise here, what all the research pointed to, was that crypto could be a kind of shortcut, a way to bring millions of people into the digital economy, boost digital literacy, and create brand new ways for the country to grow that just bypass the old, slow, outdated systems. And that's why this whole thing is so much bigger than just Pakistan. What we're seeing here is a playbook, a strategy that other nations are looking at. The idea of using decentralized finance to just leapfrog over old school financial systems and compete on the world stage, it's a bold move in the global race for digital dominance, and it could be a whole new chapter in how countries build economic power in the 21st century. So, it all comes down to this, doesn't it? Will Pakistan's massive bet actually pay off? Can they navigate all this pressure from both inside and out to build their crypto empire? Or are the obstacles just too great? Is this a digital dream that's just a little too ambitious? The answer, whatever it is probably going to shape their economic future for a long, long time to come. But I want to know what you think. Is this a genius master plan or disaster waiting to happen? Drop a comment below with genius or gamble so we can settle this. And if you want to track this story as it unfolds, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next.